Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 12 of the My Son the Traitor series here on YouTube. Today's episode, we're of course getting into Nitro. Hopefully, we're also going to be signing, as you can tell by the title, Dustin Rhodes. That'd be pretty cool. And obviously, we put that contract offer in the previous episode. Last episode was actually really good. I think it was a very good show. And I'm very happy with it. We are at the moment building towards, where is it? Crowd control right there. We're in August, which is good because we're sort of getting towards the end of the year, which is Starrcade, and Starrcade is of course our WrestleMania, our big sort of pay-per-view season finale, as you can see down here at the end of December. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the support in the recent videos. It's kind of it was a long overdue process to sort of coming back to TEW. I think recently I've really been getting back into wrestling, and it's surprisingly been WWE. I feel like a lot of people maybe have been feeling the same sort of way. The WWE has been steadily improving since the TKO takeover, I guess. Is that Dustin? Yes, there we go. Dustin Rhodes. Ooh, heel or face? I need to think about this one. I think heel. And I'll get into that as well. But we also have a pay rise request here. Hennig is currently on a pay-per appearance deal. 615 pay rise just to sort of keep him happy. So we'll do that. And what else we got here? Fork. Okay. Hennig's now fully fit, so we could potentially do something with him for the pay-per-view as well. But let's advance. Yeah, last Nitro was really good. Really good. And theoretically, we could actually go with my plan, and that was to maybe make Dustin Rhodes the American Nightmare prior to... We've got Disco Inferno here. He's actually pretty talented, but I don't think I really want to bring him in. I just don't think he's all that good, if I'm being perfectly honest. So we won't worry about him. But he does actually look quite good. And Charlie Haas would be a good one. I think he might already be on an OVW deal. Let's go back to the Southeast. Also had a shout out for the American Airlines Arena, which I forgot to look at, or I guess overlooked back in episode 11. So 11? 10. Episode 10, which was Bash at the Beach. And we were here last for Bash at the Beach. We're expecting just under 10,000. I think with the wrestling industry falling, the fanfare is probably going to get lower and lower. Although I don't mind the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Is there anywhere better? Which is I can't remember the venue that we usually run in. Mid-South Coliseum. Trying to think of which one it is. I feel like... I mean, the Mid-South Coliseum is a hotbed, so I think we might go there. We'll go there. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. I feel like it's probably a pretty good place to debut Dustin Rhodes. Let's take a quick look at him in a little bit more detail before we get into booking the show. So he's quite over. He's got 50 popularity across all of the United States, and obviously he's incredibly talented. He's a soft drug user, a drinker, and a painkiller abuser at the moment. So that could be a bit of an issue with us. I feel like some of the other workers in the company also have that problem. So, I mean, if it comes up and we can send him to rehab, we will probably do that in the hopes that it will get rid of the problem there, the drug or alcohol problem. Anyway, do we rename him the American Nightmare on the actual show? We might. Anyway, let's get into booking. What was tonight's main event? I can't actually remember what we did. All right, so we did the tag team match. I'm trying to think of who we actually put in the main event, because I can go Bagwell and Hugh Morris, which is the match that we did actually book on the last episode. I think we might do that. We might indeed do that. There's going to be a rematch from Bash at the Beach with Buff Bagwell and Hugh Morris. I mean, actually, just looking at that, Hugh Morris would probably be the perfect opponent at the pay-per-view for Dustin Rhodes. So I'm going to give that 16 minutes. We'll give Buff the win. It's going to be tainted with the outside interference finish. And let's have Hugh be attacked by Dustin Rhodes. Easiest way to probably introduce him. He'll have a promo to kick off the show. I think that's a good way of doing it as well. And then to end the show, we're going to literally have Booker T cutting a promo onto Lance Storm. And I guess we can chuck Natty Neidhart in there. We might even go a double. Actually, we won't. We'll have all three of them on screen. But I guess we'll just go with Booker. Purely for the fact that I can't script Booker. He doesn't like to be scripted. So it's probably going to be a little bit more beneficial just having him do the talking. Before the match, pretty easy one. Buff Bagwell onto Hugh Morris. We'll do that one off camera, off screen. For Hugh, a nice, easy 6-minute promo there for Buff. Again, we're at least trying to get rid of his negative. Is it negative morale or form? Poor form? Whatever it is. I can't remember the actual terminology of it. Doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, up next, let's go with a tag team match. And we want to have, where are they? Lowdown. And they can take on the Jablonski boys. Lowdown. They're still both considered unimportant. So I've been having this issue, and I appreciate you guys commenting, sort of making sure that I'm like focusing on this a little bit more, because obviously you get the penalty. Not exactly something I want at the moment. So instead of doing a tag team match, let's go like this. We'll go a 6-man tag. Apologies for my virus protector popping up there. 6-man tag. We'll go with Diamond Dallas Page. He can team up with Lowdown to take on the Jablonski boys and a random heel. Let's go with maybe Kevin Steen. I'm just looking at it. No one really stands out for someone I want to put in there. We'll go for Sanders. He's also unimportant, so it's not going to really matter too much. And we'll give D'Lo the win. I want to try and build D'Lo up, because eventually Lowdown will split up. But that probably won't be for it won't be too soon in the future. All right, what other storylines have we got? So US, we're going to have RVD take on Jindrak, I think. And we might even, let's put the title on the line as well for this one. So Rob Van Dam taking on, where is he? Mark Jindrak. He's also considered unimportant, which is frustrating. But that's perfectly fine. This is going to be a good match, so I'm hoping that even though he's you know, pretty low down the card at the moment, Jindrak, at least 25 popularity. I'm hoping that that match will boost him up a little bit and hopefully get him into the important worker sort of area, because he's probably not really far off, albeit losing more matches is probably not going to be great for him either. Who was I going to do here? I think I was going to do Guido, but I can't remember, honestly. Is Guido considered unimportant? Where is he? So he's unimportant, which is frustrating. Little Guido is also unimportant. Very frustrating. It's quite difficult to build people up when... Same thing for someone like Johnny the Bull. Let's go like this. Where are we? What am I looking for? Yeah. Anyway, up the top here. All right. Let's just give Hennig a match. I mean, he's too good not to put on the card. Who are we going to give the match to? Johnny's got warm momentum, so I don't really want to push him down. We'll go Jason Jett. Just a 6-minute match for Hennig to get a little bit of momentum back. Because he did lose at the pay-per-view. And then I'm literally just going to have a Kurt Hennig promo by himself. Just for 6 minutes. Like, he's that good that he can obviously do that. Go tag team match. Both considered unimportant. I mean, pretty much everyone's unimportant, which is very, very difficult to try and get anybody over. Let's have Team Canada taking on Anguish. And I've pretty much been pushing Anguish pretty hard. Maybe I won't do Anguish, because theoretically, Super Crazy isn't really far off. I mean, I feel like Super Crazy with a win or two is essentially gonna become an important roster member. So maybe I don't want to do that. Might just do Shane Helms versus Little Guido. I know Shane Helms is obviously considered important. So, yeah, just double check that Shane Helms is actually important. And where are we? I was going to do... instead, let's do Kendrick. We'll do Kendrick in a title match. Just a short little 6-minute match for the Cruiserweight title. Shane Helms going to get the win. Going to be decisive. Let's just have Little Guido distract Shane Helms during the match. Doesn't cost him the match or anything like that. And then what I might do here is we'll have a Little Guido angle onto Shane Helms to try and hopefully build a little bit better popularity from Guido's entertainment. I'm not sure how good it actually is, but let's have a look. I feel like it would be, yeah, it's pretty good, because I remember him speaking in ECW when he was with the FBI. So that's good enough. Again, hopefully it builds up some popularity. I don't know if it's going to or not. And his popularity is very, very low at the moment. What else can we do? We need Chavo involved in some way, shape, or form. Maybe we go Chavo and, where is he? Canyon. And they can take on... Styles and Samoa Joe. We'll give it 8 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'll give this one 6. And I'll give the title match 8. I feel like this probably could be a wild brawl. Although Chavo is probably more suited to high flying. So is AJ, to be fair. Although I'm sure Canyon and Samoa Joe could definitely brawl it out. We'll keep it storytelling. I'm going to make this one our Steal the Show. Rob Van Dam versus Jindrak. We got a couple of title matches on this card too. It's pretty cool. Who is Canyon taking on? He was going to take on... Where is he? He was taking on DDP. So let's have Canyon onto Domidar's page off camera. I can go pre-tag team match. Alright, we're slowly running out of minutes here, which is not a bad thing. That's done. That's done. Kidman and Awesome. Wonder if there's a match that I can do where Mike Awesome can take a loss at the hands of Billy Kidman. I mean, I've still got Booker. I've still got Chuck Palumbo, Sean O'Hare. And I feel like either of those two could probably beat him. Anyone else? There's no one else, really. Maybe Johnny the Bull? Yeah, I wonder if a win like that would put Johnny the Bull over. So he's got 32 pop. Awesome's got 42. The difference of 10 points. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So it's a really big upset, but like I said, it's going to be at the hands of Billy Kidman. We'll give it 8 minutes. I don't really want to squash Awesome. So Johnny's going to win. Going to be tainted. And we're going to keep Awesome strong, so it's probably not going to really do too much for Johnny the Bull in terms of like a popularity exchange, if that makes sense. But I like the finish. So Billy's going to do that. There's going to be a distraction on Awesome by Tori as well. Again, we've still got that face-heel divide for those two. But at the moment, the way the storyline's working is that Tori is with Awesome, but it doesn't really look like she's doing anything to help him. And in fact, she's maybe slightly being a hindrance on Awesome during his matches. That's frustrating. He doesn't want to take the loss. I mean, it's a pretty easy change in this regard. We'll literally just make it. I'll make it Palumbo because Palumbo's gonna. Actually, Palumbo has slightly more popularity, so yeah. I mean that'll probably work. We'll do that one instead. Instead of Johnny, it'll be Chuck. I mean, it solves the issue, right? Solves the issue. All right, so now we need angles. We've got our matches. We literally just need angles. I might chuck a Mike Awesome, Corey Wilson, and Billy Kidman promo after that match. With all three on screen. It's pretty much just going to be Kidman laughing while Awesome's getting angry at Tori. So, sex appeal there for Tori. Chuck that one after their match. We need the starting angle, so it'll be Shane McMahon and Dustin Rhodes. And I'm going to write this one. All right, so Shane McMahon, he's going to introduces, whoop, spelled it wrong. Introduces new signing, Dustin Rhodes. Who then beats him down. And there we go. I think we'll script both of them. And I'm also going to chuck a new storyline in. And it's going to be... From Dream to Nightmare. Oh, trying to spell Nightmare wrong. And it's literally going to be Shane, at this stage, Shane McMahon and Dustin Rhodes. I like that storyline. That's going to be a really good storyline, especially for the debut of Dustin. And I believe Shane is actually an in-ring worker, so we could pretty much have him... Yeah, so he's an occasional wrestler. I could have him take on Dustin at the pay-per-view, albeit it might cost Shane a bit of popularity, which I don't really want to do, seeing as he is sort of the authority figure. Yeah, it's that. Not 100% sure on this one yet, because we would literally have to have Dustin winning. I can't have him debut and then lose straight away. That would make zero sense. Anyway. We need one more angle for the show. Is there anyone we haven't used yet? So that's sort of already advancing. Stacey's still actually in there, which is funny. This one hasn't really advanced. Could maybe have Chavo cutting a promo onto O'Hare. Yeah, let's do that. Chavo, actually, does Chavo have an angle already? No, he's got the match. So I'll put his after the match, I guess. So Chavito onto Sean Stasiak, who gets him on the TV show as well, which is good. We'll do double entertainment. We'll do a war of words. A little bit of one-handed typing. War of words with Chavo and Sean Stasiak. Yeah, I'll go after. We'll go after the match. Perfect. So we're still too high. We would be penalized. We'll take 2 off that. I don't really want to take 2 off there. Probably take 2 off there. But they're kind of like 2 mid-carders that I actually like. So we'll take it off the the Cruiserweight title match. The United States title match, we'll give that a proper 8 minutes in the ring. And we're still too high, so very frustrating. Well, with that being said, we will take 2 off there as well. Still too high. Ridiculous. We'll take a minute off that. Keep that 5. Take a minute off that to 7. And I can probably keep that at 8. Let's keep that one at 8. Chuck in another angle with someone else. And hopefully that'll get us to where we need it to be. Did I do Stasiak? I did indeed do Stasiak. It's going to be Sean O'Hare, not Stasiak. All right, there we go. Fixed. All right, it's a war of the words between the two of them. Do I go Rob Van Dam? Just chuck a cheeky RVD promo in there? We may as well. So Rob, cutting a promo onto Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak. All right, perfect. Kind of a good thing that messed up a little bit, because now I realize that I was using the wrong person for the wrong storyline, so it works out really well. Cool. All right. We would not be penalized. Love to see it. One more. Perfect. All right. Booking analysis. What do we got? Wild Brawl, Mayhem, or Car Crash? Good brawling. Probably got bad brawl. Good brawling. All right. Still Wild Brawl. Probably not the type of match I want to put Hennig in straight after he's come back from injury, but it is what it is. We might even give this an extra 2 minutes. And that an extra 2 minutes. Cool. All right, so that's maximum showtime. You'd love to see it. Let's go pre-show. Let's give a win to Anguish. They can take on Romeo Skipper. Give them 12 minutes. Give Super Crazy the victory. I really want to have Anguish split up. And we'll turn Evil Psychosis. Supposed to be pre-show. And then we can have Super Crazy. Maybe either we go for a good Psychosis that comes in and then beats the evil Psychosis to form a new Anguish, or even rename it the team, something a bit more face appropriate, shall we say? Or I just put Super Crazy straight into the Cruiserweight division as sort of one of the top talents of that division. Something to think about. Let's do another match. I haven't actually used Booker, so we'll chuck Booker T in a match. Up to 85 popularity. It's incredible. He can take on Kevin Steen. Cheeky little pre-show match for 12 minutes. I like it. Actually, should be a really good match, to be fair. Anderson. Cool. All right. Let's do another one. Let's have a look for a little bit of chemistry with American Dragon. Johnny the Bull. Maybe Kidman. I feel like Kidman and Danielson could be a very good team. Who have we got left? Let's go with Young Dragons. Theoretically, Young Dragon. Oh, although, I mean, Billy Kidman's quite over, so we'll go Billy Kidman to get the victory. Hopefully, that'll give Kidman a little bit of a rub. All right, that looks good. Let's run the show. I actually really like the pre-show as well, to be fair. Let's do it. So we kick things off with a 49 rated pre-show tag team match where we have Anguish defeating Romeo and Skipper in 11:41 when Super Crazy pinned Kid Romero with a moonsault. Good chemistry for Romeo and Skipper. Good match, good win for Super Crazy. We then go into a 57 rated tag team match where we had American Dragon and Billy Kidman, and they defeat Young Dragons in 12:07. We had Kidman pin Hayashi with a shooting star press. And I mean, it's Booker T, so it's going to be a good match. 75 rated pre-show match, we have Booker T defeating Kevin Steen in 12:30 by pinfall with a bookend to finish the pre-show. Alrighty, so we kick Nitro off with a 77 rated angle here where we have Shane McMahon introducing the new signing in Dustin Rhodes. Of course, Shane puts over the wonderful legacy of the Rhodes family name, and of course his father Dusty, and the importance that Dusty's had on the professional wrestling business. And then Dustin looks like he's going to be very accepting and very going to have a lot of gratitude for coming into the company. And then just as they're about to shake hands, Dustin hits him. Should we say with a crossroads, or is that too much of a gimmick infringement onto Cody? Potentially. Anyway, good stuff. Dustin Rhodes, he debuts, gets an initial rating of poor for his gimmick. I mean, maybe having the natural, his normal gimmick has been a bit of a hindrance there. I don't like the poor gimmick because it's going to probably, one, make him unhappy, and two, it's going to affect every angle and match rating he has in the future. So, frustrating. Yeah, it says it's likely to raise over time as they get used to it. And it does give a small boost to charisma during angles. So, it might not all be doom and gloom yet. A few promos, and he might actually get better at his gimmick as we go along, which is what I'm hoping for, to be perfectly honest. We then go into our opening match. Get a 54 here. We have Chuck Palumbo pulling off a bit of an upset, defeating Mike Awesome in 6:23 by pinfall with a super kick, following interference from Billy Kidman. And during the match, Tori Wilson also accidentally distracted Mike Awesome. We'll say with her good looks, he was distracted. Anyway, yeah, Palumbo off his game. A little bit frustrating. Only a 45. Awesome getting a 54. We then go into a following angle from that match, getting a 46 rating. We have Awesome, and he's pretty much cutting a promo onto Billy Kidman. Billy's laughing his way up the ramp. Awesome's pretty much blowing his lid. He's going crazy, blaming Tori as well. Tori she doesn't exactly look upset, but she's trying to console Awesome and say, it wasn't my fault. He's getting involved. He still, wants me to be his manager despite losing the match at Bash at the Beach. It's not really her fault, if that makes sense. We then go into a 64 rated angle with a bit of a dark angle with Canyon backstage before he comes out for his match. Think of maybe like a John Moxley in the closet with a bit of fencing around, boiler room sort of vibes. And yeah, Canyon's back there, cuts a promo, says that he is representing the new school, the new age of professional wrestling, and DDP is the old decrepit old school that is trying to cling on for that one last ride. We then go into their match, well, Canyon's match anyway, where him and Chavo team up, getting a 63 rating, which is pretty good, especially considering Styles and Joe are both pretty much openers at this point. We have Chavo and Canyon defeating AJ Styles and Samoa Joe in 5:48 when Chavo pins Samoa Joe with a tornado DDT. And obviously Canyon head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. It's a good match as well. Alrighty, we then go into a 57 rated angle following Chavo's match, cutting a promo onto Sean O'Haire, who he will be facing at the pay-per-view. So he's going to beat him. So he's essentially the next stepping stone on the way to getting that title shot for Rob Van Dam's United States title. Alrighty, we then go into a 40 rated angle with Little Guido. He's cutting a promo onto Shane Helms, saying that he wants an opportunity at the Cruiserweight title. Shane pretty much says, get in line before his match. We then have Shane come out and actually wrestle for the Cruiserweight title, getting us a 55 rating for this match. Shane Helms defeating Brian Kendrick in 5:53 by pinfall with a vertebreaker. And then during the match, Little Guido distracted Helms. But yeah, Shane Helms making defense number 5 of the Cruiserweight title. Good stuff. That's actually a really good match for the Cruiserweight title. Just wish that we had a little bit more, maybe just more people that were important enough to be wrestling, if that makes sense, or at least challenging, perhaps, so I can try and build them up. Someone like a Little Guido, who's sort of on the cusp in the same way that maybe Super Crazy is, whereas Shane Helms is like above them because he is the champion, and he can pretty much have a match on the card with anybody. So yeah. Anyway, we then go into a standalone promo from Curt Hennig, getting us a 75 rating there. Pretty much him saying he's back from injury. He's gonna start working towards the loss that he suffered in the main event, and he pretty much blames the injury as to the reason why he is not currently the World Heavyweight Champion. He then goes to have a match, a 67 rated match indeed. Curt Hennig defeating Jason Jett in 520 by pinfall with a fisherman's suplex. Just a nice little warm-up match. 5 minutes. Wild brawl as well. Curt Hennig pretty upset at his injury, and he's essentially taken it out on Jason Jett. We then go into a 76 rated promo from Rob Van Dam, cutting a promo on Jindrak and Stasiak. And of course, he will be facing one of them at the pay-per-view. I think we're going to go with Stasiak. I think he's just the better of the two at the moment. And of course, he'll be versing Jindrak as well. So, in the lead-up. And here is that match. So we get a 77 rating, which is incredible. That's probably main event level, I would say, in an 8-minute match. And we have Rob Van Dam defeating Mark Jindrak in 8:01 by pinfall with a frog splash, and RVD making defense number 1 of the WCW United States title. 80 in-ring performance. Definitely the show stealer that I thought it was going to be, and a really, really good match. Very happy with it. All right, 6-man tag. I think it might even be the semi-main event, and it gets us to 62, which is good, but obviously the reason why that's happened is because of DDP. Hopefully it's enough to get Lowdown the popularity they need to become important, so we can then push them against some of these lower down heel teams like the Jablonski boys. But yeah, DDP and Lowdown defeating Mike Sanders and the Jablonski boys in 5:45, and D'Lo pinned Chet with a frog splash. Yeah, DDP head and shoulders above everybody else, and obviously DDP being the standout in the match. All right, we then go into an 80 rated angle where we have Buff Bagwell cutting a promo onto Hugh Morris. Pretty good angle there. I don't know if the main event match is going to be as good. It's not. It only gets us a 68 rating for our main event match. When you consider how good the Rob Van Dam Jindrak match was, a little bit frustrating. Anyway, we do have Buff Bagwell defeating Hugh Morris in 15:25 by pinfall with a blockbuster following interference from Dustin Rhodes. So Rhodes getting involved, costing Hugh Morris the match, and we now have a third member for that storyline from Dream to Nightmare. And we finish the show off with a 99 rated angle. This one, obviously, Booker T, only one rated on Entertainment here. And he cuts a promo onto Lance Storm, who also comes out with his manager, Natty Neidhart. And yeah, Booker says the match is official. World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Booker T versus Lance Storm. And that finishes the show. We get an 80, which is good enough. But I don't think that main event was good enough. It was a risk. I know, obviously, putting Buff in the main event. Hugh Morris is probably not exactly very over either. So it's like, yeah, did I do the right thing? Probably not. Even next episode's main event might be a little bit iffy because I'm going to do Hugh Morris taking on Dustin Rhodes, I think. Either that or I go with maybe Rob Van Dam and DDP taking on Canyon and someone else, potentially. Maybe a Buff Bagwell, but I don't really want to put Buff into the main event. Something to think about for next episode anyway. Either way, it's going to be Hugh Morris and Dustin Rhodes next episode, somewhere on the card regardless. So looking forward to that. essentially gives Hugh Morris something to do, up until the pay-per-view anyway. So, yeah. Increases popularity in 13 regions across the United States. Actually, that might be... I don't know if that's the United States or Canada as well. I have to take a look. Anyway, get a 1.19 TV rating there, just under 900,000 viewers. Which isn't too bad, considering. Raw does an 81. So they slightly beat us. Triple H defeating Eddie Guerrero by DQ for the Intercontinental title. And you have Jericho defeating Test. Very good main events. Very, very good main events indeed. And then you throw up our main event. You can sort of see the level in quality, shall we say. A Bagwell versus Morris versus a Triple H versus Eddie Guerrero. I mean, I can see a very clear winner when it comes to that. But it is what it is. And I'm still pretty happy with the episode. I think overall, without really worrying about the main event rating, the main event match rating itself, I think it was a really good show. I think I booked a decent card. We're up to 70 popularity across all those other regions in the United States. And we're getting probably pretty close to hitting... actually, I don't know. How many regions have we got here? That's what? 10? 9. 9. There's 9 in the US, and then Canada, there's obviously... I would assume that all these regions, depending on how big our TV deal is... How do I look at TV deals? Broadcasting, isn't it? What do we got? So we're only medium across the US, and then small in Quebec, but medium in some of those other regions in Canada as well. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And then obviously our pay-per-view deals are incredibly good. So that's where we're going to get most of our money. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the episode, guys. Take a quick little look at popularity for a second. Has RVD gone up in popularity as a result of that match a little bit? I think he has, actually. He's gone up to, well, 51, 52, so he's gained about 2 points, 2 or 3 points from pretty much just that 1 week, or I suppose last episode as well. Yeah, positive. New United States champion is really doing some good work. Anyway, that is going to be it for the episode, guys. Smash a like on the video if you enjoyed, and make sure you show your support for the series. If you got any suggestions, drop them down below in the comments. I do obviously read and answer all those comments as well. So I have been appreciating some of the advice. Obviously, little things that maybe I'm not really thinking about because I haven't played the game in 7 months, and it's all helping, especially the unimportant stuff. The recognizable talents hitting low ratings as a result of that. Yeah, it's all been a help. So thank you very much. Thank you for support, and I'll see you next episode. As always, take it easy and goodbye.